Hi, welcome to another video. My name's Cara, this is Bianca Reads, and today we're filming my book haul. So, this is a very mixed haul. It's pretty big. You can probably hear Simpsons in the background. We're gonna roll with it. So it's a pretty eclectic, not even eclectic, it's just big. But November is a big month for releases, so I knew it was going to be big. October and November are always big for me. But let's start off with 3 books that I actually bought for a challenge video, which I will link up in the cards. So the first one is We Are Lost and Found by Helene Dunbar, which is a contemporary YA set in 80s New York following the AIDS crisis, and we follow Michael, whose older brother Connor was kicked out of home for being gay, and is living a pretty promiscuous lifestyle. Michael isn't really into the promiscuity of the gay community at that time, but is also gay, but doesn't know how to come out to his parents. He's scared of getting kicked out of home, and it's dealing with him kind of trying to find like love in a gay culture that's primarily focused on having sex rather than like romantic connections, and also the fear of AIDS that's like obviously permeating everything. I talked about this more in my wrap-up because I've already read it, so if you want to hear my thoughts on it, go check that out. Then also for that challenge video, I picked up Murder Most Unladylike by Robin Stevens, which is a middle grade murder mystery following 2 girls, Daisy and Hazel, who go to a boarding school, and it's their friendship but also solving this mystery, and it's definitely just a lot of fraught friendships. But this was very fun. I talk about this more in my wrap-up again because I read it for the video, but also I enjoyed it so much I also went out and bought Arsenic for Tea, which is book 2. Tea at 3, Murder at Midnight. I'm very excited to read this. I haven't read it yet, obviously, but I enjoyed book 1 a lot, so I definitely went out and picked up book 2. Then finally for that challenge, I picked up Amelia Westlake by Erin Goff. This is a Lovers YA release that follows 2 girls. It's a contemporary, follows Harriet and Will, and they go to an all-girls private boarding school that's been having some drama, but everyone's kind of hushing up under the rug, and together they come up with a plan to develop Amelia Westlake, this fake girl who is kind of pulling pranks on the staff and exposing some kind of dodgy things going on. So I also read this, and I talk about it in my wrap-up and the specific video that I read those 3 books for. So definitely go check out that reading vlog. It was a fun one. Then I bought a book I probably didn't need to buy, but hey, it's gorgeous. And that is the 10th anniversary edition of Clockwork Angel. I bought the 10th anniversary edition of City of Bones, so it kind of felt just like normal. It's lovely and burgundy, so another reason why I have to do it. It has the artwork in the front and back. It's just a stunning tome, and I'm glad to add it to my collection. Then a book I loved so much I bought it twice. We have The Stylus II by Erin Morgenstern. I bought this paperback copy and read it really quickly and really loved it. And I decided I would have this copy to hand out to friends for them to read and love it. But I would also buy the hardback for my own collection, which has these gorgeous prints on the spine and these beautiful end papers. It's a gorgeous hardback. And because I loved it so much, I couldn't resist, despite Jessie telling me off very lightly. This is obviously the newest release by Erin Morgenstern, the author of The Night Circus, which also I also love. But it follows Zachary Ezra Rawlins, who finds a book that in it has a scene from his childhood, but it was written long before he was ever born, and it kind of sends him on a spiral, and it's really a love story to storytelling, and it's amazing. I loved this. It was so good. as you can tell, because I bought 2 copies and I would definitely recommend it. But check out my reading vlog and wrap up for it. Now a bunch of things that I are currently reading or haven't read yet but are on my TBR. We have Grave Maidens by Kelly Kuhn. This is a necromancy retelling. No, it's about maidens joining dead people in the afterlife, like getting buried alive with them. Yes, this is dark fantasy. You know me, I like my death themed fantasy, so I don't really know that much about this, but the keywords really like tick yes boxes for me, and this is a gorgeous cover, so I picked it up. There's a bit of a theme here. Next up we have A River of Royal Blood by Amanda Joy. This is a East African, I think, inspired fantasy, and we're following a queendom where there's 2 princesses and they're going against the same throne. I don't really know the details. If you didn't know, I tend to like to go into my books relatively blind. I like to know keywords and themes and someone's recommendation, but other than that I don't want to know too much about plot synopses. But this really looked great. I've been really enjoying African inspired fantasies, and this was one I was like, yeah, hit me up, loving it. You can really see the like Daenerys vibes in the drawing that they did. You can see it. My LGBTQ+ read subscription this month sent me The Never Tilting World by Rin Chupeco. This is Rin Chupeco's newest release. I still haven't read Shadowglass, but I have it. This is it Shadowglass? Yeah, the Shadowglass. I haven't read the Shadowglass yet, but I was so happy to receive this. A, this cover is gorgeous. B, this has a female-female romance in it. And although the Bone Witch series I don't absolutely love, my reasons for not loving it is not enjoyment of the book. It's more about feeding of information between books in the series. So I'm very excited to read this. It looks so good. It's a split city, like a split world, where one is in perpetual night and one is in perpetual day, which you can obviously see here, and I'm really excited to read this. I picked up Supernova by Marissa Meyer, which is the 3rd and final book in the Renegades trilogy, so this is the conclusion. This is following Nova and Adrian, who are superheroes. This is obviously YA. They're superheroes but like on opposing sides, and I'm really excited to finally finish this series. I really enjoyed book 1 and 2, which I both read this year, so I definitely want to finish this really soon, maybe early next year. A book I am currently reading is Cold Down the Hawk. I'm actually almost done, by Maggie Stiefvater. This is the first in the new Dreamers trilogy. I bought the UK paperback because I thought it was just a little bit prettier than the US. They're both ugly, but a little bit less worse. This is a continuation, really, of the Raven Cycle. And I don't want to tell you anything about the plot because it would totally ruin the Raven Cycle. Apparently you don't need to read the Raven Cycle to understand this, and from what I've read I would agree, but if you ever wanted to read the Raven Cycle, don't go into this first. It's only if you like really didn't want to read the Raven Cycle that you could jump to this. It's really good so far, that I will talk about it more in my December wrap up. But yeah, I picked this up. I don't like Maggie Stiefvater as a person, but for some reason her writing just like speaks to me on another level and I can't help it. Another book I'm ridiculously excited about is The Toll by Neil Shusterman. I'm going to be reading this in December for sure. I've already tabbed it out. I can't wait to get to this. This is the 3rd and final book in the Arc of a Scythe, and Thunderhead were absolutely amazing. This is super chunky. I can't wait to read it. This world essentially follows a utopian dystopia where death has been eradicated, and so instead there are scythes whose job it is to glean people. It's so good, this series. I can't wait to read this. I picked up Winterwood by Shay Earnshaw. This is, Shay Earnshaw wrote, what was her first book? The Wicked Deep, which I enjoyed but didn't absolutely love. It was just all right for me. But this is her second release. They're unrelated. And this one is wood eerie themed, like forest themed rather than beach themed, which I think is going to be great. Like, look at that under the dust jacket. It's on the front and the back. Oh, it's so pretty. It's not very long, which I think could really work in its favor. The Wicked Deep wasn't long either. It's like just over 300 pages. I hope to read this super soon. It's very wintry vibes, but it's the middle of summer here. The next thing I have here is Queen of the Conquered by Kaysen Calendar. This is a young adult fantasy. Maybe it's adult. Maybe it's adult. Yeah, I'm gonna say adult fantasy following, it's a Caribbean inspired and deals a lot with colonialism. Basically that's all I know. It has the YA snake, but it's not, I would say it's not YA, it's probably adult, based on who is backing it. But I am really excited to read this. I don't know enough about what I know, like about what's involved in it. It's part of a duology, I think. But I am very excited to read it. I really like enjoy is probably not the right word, but exploring colonialism in fiction. So I'm definitely really keen to see this. It's fantasy, so it's going to be like brutal magic. So excited. This next book I almost literally know nothing about. This is Unnatural Magic by Sam Wagner. I can't even remember who recommended this. But I was like, so I think it was because of the way the magic system's described in the back that I really wanted to read it. So it says, Honor can write the parameters of a spell faster than any of the young men in her village school, but despite her incredible abilities, she's denied a place at the nation's premier arcane academy. Undaunted, she sails to the bustling city-state of Hexos, hoping to find a place at a university where they don't think there's anything untoward about providing a woman with a magical education. But as soon as Honor arrives, she's drawn into the mysterious murder of 4 trolls. How good does that sound? I love magic school. A cat loves a tripod. But I'm literally so excited to read this. It sounds so good. Another sequel I picked up is The Name of All Things by Jen Lyons. Stop it. This is the sequel to The Ruin of Kings. Hey. This is the sequel to The Ruin of Kings, which I read a month or so ago and really enjoyed. And I can't wait to continue this series. It's on a 9-month release schedule, so like, gosh, and it's like gonna be a 6 or 8 book series. They're huge. I'm so excited. But it's, I don't even know what this one follows other than like a continuation of the first book. This is high fantasy, exploring the chosen one trope with dragons and demons, and oh, it's so good. It is so good. Some people don't like it. I think it's a bit heavy on world building really fast, and it does have dual timelines, especially in the first book. I don't know if this one does, but that definitely might have thrown some people off. Then I picked up the Guinevere Deception by Kirsten White. This is the newest book by Kirsten White, obviously. It's gonna be released. That follow, it's a Guinevere, Lancelot Guinevere King Arthur retelling. It's pretty short. It's only 336 pages. And it's the first in a series, I believe. I really enjoyed her last series that was about the Ivan the Terrible. Not Ivan the Terrible. Was it Ivan the Terrible? No. Vlad the Impaler. It was a Vlad the Impaler retelling, but from the point of view if Vlad was a woman. And I really enjoyed the first one and like gave the second 2 like 4 stars. So I'm really excited. I think I'm gonna love this, and I love this cover. It's so good. Another sequel I picked up was Girls of Storm and Shadow by Natasha Yarn. I read the first one of these, which is Girls of Paper and Fire, earlier this year. This is a Korean inspired fantasy, Thai inspired fantasy that really focuses on abuse and trauma, and follows Lei, who ends up as a concubine to the Demon King. So it's pretty intense, though everyone talking about how intense it was made me expect it to be more intense than the first one was. But I'm really excited to see where book 2 goes. I think it's just a duology, but I don't really know. It could be a trilogy. Then I picked up Fate of the Fallen by Kel Cade. This is a adult high fantasy that follows the idea of it was pitched as, what if Frodo died before he could throw the ring into Mount Doom and Sam had to take his place? And everyone knows my favorite, you probably don't know, but Samwise is my favorite character in Lord of the Rings by far. I hate Frodo with a passion. So if this is like Samwise fanfiction, sign me the fuck up. I'm so ready. It's not particularly long, though I think it's a series. It's only like 350 pages. And I didn't realize that Kel Cade was a woman at first. I don't think many people did. But, or at least feminine presenting, I should say, because it doesn't really say. The premise sounds so good. I can't wait to read this. I'm obsessed with the idea of this. I also picked up Starsight by Brandon Sanderson, which is the sequel to Skyward, which I read the start of the year, I think, with April. Maybe middle of the year even. I still have a sticker on this. And this is a Brandon Sanderson's sci-fi young adultish kind of series. I really enjoyed Skyward. And it definitely had some plot twists at the end that I can't wait to see where they go in Starsight. I think this is an ongoing series. This isn't the last one, but I'm really excited to see where this goes. And finally, I picked up Queen of Nothing, focus please on the book, by Holly Black. This is the final book in the Folk of the Air series. I didn't love Cruel Prince or Wicked King as much as everyone else seemed to. They were like a 3.5-4 star series for me, but I do really want to see how it ends, so I picked this up. I'm going to read it pretty soon in December. It's one of my next reads actually, and it's only really short, like it's barely 300 pages. And I think I'm going to fly through this because they're fast paced. And I'm really excited to see how it ends. So those are all the books that I read in the month of, that I bought in the month of November. Yeah, it's a big book haul. I'm not gonna tell you how many. I'm scared to count. But I blame a lot of ends of series, sequels, things like that, but also some really cool new releases coming out. It's a big new release season in November. But I'm really excited about all these books and I can't wait to read them. Let me know if you've read any of these and your general vague feelings, please blank. And let me know what you're currently reading down below. Otherwise, I'll see you soon for the next video. Bye!